I see quite a mix going on here, but I do see a little clutch of kind of greyish cards, which tend to indicate a slightly more contemplative or quiet period time or inner thought. There is a degree of yellow coming through here as well, and we see quite a few cups all pulled in together. You have 1, 2, 3 major, 4 major arcana cards. You have 1, 2 court cards. So this reading is more about yourself and perhaps your inner perspectives, and possibly about the relationships in your life from your, again, perspective or dynamic. But anyhow, let's take a look at the very top far left-hand card, which is this one, which starts us off for the month. You start off at the beginning there with a little degree of sadness around relationships. This card can often stand for separation, divorce, or the falling of close personal relationships, the falling away of them. It can also be interacted with the contemplation of divorce, or 3 people involved somehow, so there might be a third person that comes into a relationship scenario that unbalances it. This doesn't always have to be just a romantic relationship, it can even be business relationships that can be affected. So that's the feeling that you're starting off with in the beginning of May. So there's a little bit of, turbulence or sadness around heartfelt connections. But if you move on to the very next card, we see the 6 of Wands. Now this card is known as the victory card or the triumph card, and it's very closely attached to that other one, so it almost feels as if possibly you're the one making these choices to move on from a relationship, or that somehow through this 3 of Swords turning up there is some victory that is acclaimed out of it. So whether or not you can manage to work out some personal crises that are involved, but you manage to save the situation and it is recalculated or it goes down another route, that's a possibility. So the victory card can also be connected to career, because it's the thought or creative ideas of our mind as well. So there is a feeling that any projects that you have been working on may have this triumphant feel about them, as if you have acclaimed some sort of accreditation, or you've come to the end of a project and there is success around it. There can be a little bit of a degree of arrogance involved in this, because sometimes we think of our successes and we feel really proud and happy, but we may forget to include all the people who could have been part of that success journey. So it just tells us to be aware and to also acknowledge others who may have played a role in our journey of where we've got and who we've become in our successes along the way. This third card, the Empress, one of your major arcanas, it's a very fertile card, so it's about fertility and conception. So this can be a time where new pregnancies are conceived, but also fertility of the mind, so ideas and thoughts and creative projects. It is also a card of sexual attraction. So some of you may find some really strong chemistry type related relationships coming onto the scene, and they can be quite profound and intense. She is a beautiful card to have in a reading. She is sunny, happy, earth grounded, full of joy, satisfaction, pleasure. She's very giving and just happy and connected. This can also be a time of sort of social activities or engagements where those type of feelings are emulated. And right next to it you have the Wish card, and again this speaks of happy successes, and it can be more than just romance successes. So it can be successes of love or enjoyment, friendships, it can be romance, families, it can be your career, any projects you've been starting. They call it the Wish card because at this point in time it appears that things will be flowing, or there's this energy of connection that allows you to imbue or enjoy your successes. So even though you start this week off with this kind of little bit of unsettled energy around relationships there. You've got 2 of the success cards in the first week. So they really are quite positive. I think if you focus on that as opposed to focusing on any negatives, you'll bring yourself forward in a much better way. We come to the next line and we see here the 10 of Pentacles. 10s, and you have 2 of them in a row. So again, we're getting an amplified message of the number 10 here. 10s are about endings. So you have got endings going on for you in May. There's a relationship that you're letting go. Perhaps it wasn't serving you very well, or it was one you didn't need, or it was an extra relationship that was hidden that needs to be let go. That 10 of Pentacles usually says this is the happy home, happy family and harmony, and it's next to this one as well. So your home life somehow feels more complete or safeguarded or happy. I think you work through something and you manage to bring balance back into home relationships at any point. Those 2 10s together exude a very similar feeling. The first one is about financial stability, having come a full circle in life, and having your family and your physical manifestations and your prosperity in a good position with sort of positive feeling of balance and control. So it's usually a sign of success in the physical material world, as well as your family being around you and close and connected and you enjoying that. And this 10 is more about the emotional perspective of life and feeling that wonderful joy and harmony and love and just adoration and being complete with the people in your life. There are children involved, so whether or not these are your own children or siblings or just extended family members, or even your broader close family, which you could term as friends. But whatever it is, there's some great harmony and happiness in your reading. You know, the wish card, the 2 10s, very prosperous cards to be thinking on, Scorpio. So you need to, as I said before, imbue the positives in your reading and just bypass any of the little glitchy things, such as this one here, the 8 of Cups. So we see this moon up here in the sun, and I think of that as being back in the eclipses, which were in March, and I said that energy would keep protruding itself through for a few months, so this may be coming. There's definitely a walking away from a relationship here. You've started it up here, I think you carry it through here. It was an unbalanced relationship, so there wasn't a great degree of balance in it, and you are figuring out that it is better for you to move forward and leave it behind. And once you make that decision, you will know that every time you close a door, there's a new door opening. It could have been a hidden agenda type relationship, or one that you've kept under guard or not been, fully open about. Scorpios quite often like to have a little bit of secrecy in their life, so there could have been something along these lines. But it would feel as though it's just time to let it go and groove into the newness as you walk forward and seek something else for your heart and for, love and romance connections. It doesn't have to be tied up with these 2 cards. This just could be another paradigm of you or another portion or angle. We come to this card in the end of this week, and this is the Hanged Man. It means he's come to a crossroads most usually, and it could have something to do with this feeling of walking away. So sometimes he was on a direction, and then something comes and sort of says to him, no, we're changing direction. We're making changes in our attitudes or our opinions, or a project that we've been doing, or any of those type of feelings is what the Hanged Man presents us with. It's often a time when delays will set in, so if you were wanting to get quick action of anything at this time, most of the times things will be a little bit cut and stagnant, and you have to wait for it to re-access itself again and to restart up. Sometimes it takes an illumination from your end, some sort of thought process where you get the aha moment and you go, got it. That's what I need to do. So some of this you could be some of this card's energy you could say is just about taking a step back and seeing the bigger, broader picture and being able to implement that into your situation, some of which could be emotional and others of which are much more directional in life, and could even include your career perspectives or where you live or your whole way you want to move forward. It can also pertain to spirituality. And we come down here to the Hierophant. This is the beginning of the 3rd week for you in May. The Hierophant, he has his hand up and he often says, stop. Whatever you're doing, stop. So you're getting 2 messages here, 2 major arcanas that really relate to each other about halting a project that you're doing, or halting a way you're behaving or acting or feeling. It's telling you to re-strategize and re-contemplate. The Hierophant is also a religious card, or, sort of a card of religious belief. So some of you may be addressing that in your own mind, or changing your belief systems, or altering something very deep within your own personal psyche or spirituality. The other thing about the Hierophant, he can suggest literal legal terms and laws, and when he turns up, it doesn't pay to be doing anything corrupt or underhand. It pays to keep your business dealings and your emotional dealings clean cut and above board. So that's the kind of messages that the Hierophant tells us when he's around. We come to the next card here, the 4 of Wands. You've got so much potential for some sort of really happy engagement in your relationships. I hope that you can really see it for the month, and that you work through any of these other little shifts or mergers that are going on, because this is another really happy, positive card. There are 2 more people again, symbolizing happiness and togetherness, and often it's the card of engagements or celebratory parties or events that you could be attending or hosting or being the main person or the center of. So again, it's got the creative feel for it, so it's quite often about newness and harmony in the home, and well-balanced homes and good foundations of relationships. It's just speaking to you over and over and over again with these possibilities. It's like you've got 2 things going on, as if I get the feeling that something's been hidden, and you're either having to come to face getting rid of it, or rebalancing it, or choosing between one or the other. But there's like a paradox of stuff going on here for you guys. Right next to that, we get this proposition of love again, and he's heading right into here. So there is definitely love and emotions and heart connection for you in this month of May. It seems very much about yourself and your feelings. I'm really getting that as a strong message. So this is your sign, of course, the watery sign, as are all the cups that have been. And it's the sign, the proposition of the offerings of love. So this could be a young person who actually does come into your life, and it will be a watery sign person. So it could be a heart connection. It's the propensity for new relationships yet again. If it's not a heart relationship or a romance, it's just the offering of something beautiful that connects at the heart. That could be a long-term friendship or partnership one way or another. It is a lovely card to get in the reading. You come here to the end of this week, which had the 2 major arcana cards in it, both of them quite stern and forceful. Judgment again, and it's right above the Hanged Man, is all about listening to your inner self and knowing whether you're going the right way in life and what decisions you are making. Do you need to make changes? Does something need to be altered? So it's about facing, I guess it's about facing the hidden agenda stuff, and about your future, and about the realities, and understanding that the path you're on is where you're going to end up in the future. So it's about looking at where you think your future will be, and is that really where you want to be, or does it need to be altered? It's that type of feeling going on. There's definitely something you've been hiding or keeping to yourself or secret that you need to address and either be open about, or you're letting it go, or you're making changes to the way that it's been handled. Let's have a look down here. We move more into sort of finances down there for that first part of the week. So here with the 4 of Pentacles, it's like you're worried about your money or your investments, or how you've been managing your money, but most of that is more of an inner fear of your own, thinking that you haven't got enough. When we've seen it up here, you are actually quite, well looked after, if you like, at the moment, or if you look hard enough, you'll see it. This card tells us to let go a little bit more and not be so fearful. Of course, keep an eye on your investments and where you have them, and be sound and logical about it. But don't be too closed off, because if we create fear around our anything, whatever you choose to create fear around, then you stop that flow from coming in, and you stop the growth and the prosperity. I often think this card can sometimes also mean that money could be coming to you from a dividend or a fund or a charity, or even a bequeathment of some sort. There's that possibility. This card shows us this guy. He's been hard working, and he's thinking about or contemplating how he is investing his money. He is slowly but surely, with hard work, accruing funds. These two go quite nicely together. They're very much about thought, perspective of your money. So again, the message is, don't be too worried or in fear. Use more positive means of growing your wealth and the feeling about your wealth. Know that when you accept money and material goods into your life, and that you allow the manifestation of that, then all sorts of positives will keep flowing in. It's the way the universe works. These two here, quite related as well. Even the clouds kind of merge together. He's a younger air sign energy type person, and he comes in with quite strong, gutsy, determined energy. It can be a verbal time. They love using their words, the air signs, and he's sort of heading in here towards your money or finances or career. So this could be someone that you work with or is around this type of realm of your life. And this one here, he's still also joining him. It feels as if there could be some sort of disagreement. It's definitely verbal communication of some sort. And this is quite often 3 people are involved, and someone is the outright winner, but then these two will possibly walk away, leaving it behind, going, nah, I've had enough of that. This is usually you in the reading, so you feel a degree of satisfaction, like, got you, stick that, I've won. You've got 2 of these types of energies, one up there and one here, and they're very, very similar with this feeling of, I'm right, stick it, take it or leave it. When you engage in these type of activities, you just need to think about the consequences, and always, is there a better way to handle it? Could I use better words, or could I choose a better moment to deliver what I'm thinking or feeling? So it seems to me that the last week of May, you end up either venting your opinions or your decision about something. You do generally win over with it, but just think twice about how you're going to do it. And regards your wealth down here, it's on your mind, so it's either career or your finances or your money that's on your mind in the beginning, but it's not negative stuff. It's actually quite positive. You just have to be a bit more open and a little less rigid and worried about it. So there we are, Scorpio. You have quite an interesting reading. It's up and down with so many great positive possibilities, and I think you should be focusing on them. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beautiful possibilities, at least, out of the deck, that if you focus on them and harness on them, you should be able to really nurture something strong and powerful and wonderful for the month of May.